Get ready for a word that changes your world. It's instructional, inspirational, directional, motivational, and transformational. It's the Powersurge Daily Devotional with Pastor Emmanuel Okonkwo.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Powersurge Daily Devotional. This morning, I want to speak to us something I've called Satan's signature strategy. Satan's signature strategy. Mark chapter 14, verse 27. And Jesus said to them, "You will all fall away, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered." You know, Satan has an age-long strategy of war. This is one of his oldest war strategy, and that is to strike the shepherd and scatter the sheep. Satan likes to go to the center of gravity. He likes to go to the center of gravity. You remember, things fall apart. You know, he goes to that main thing that's holding everything together. He knows, I don't have to worry about all these things, but if I could hit the center, if I could strike the shepherd, I will scatter the sheep. And this is something that you and I need to pay attention to as you and I do spiritual warfare. There are three places that we need to really see this phenomenon play out. One, the first place is in the national level. The national level. So Satan would attack a nation by attacking the leaders of the nation. He will corrupt the leaders of the nation. He knows that the followers don't really matter. If the head is corrupted, if he corrupts the head, then he corrupts the whole body. If he corrupts the head, he corrupts the whole body. And so Satan would take the leadership of a nation and corrupt the leadership of a nation. And it doesn't matter how smart, how good, how non-corrupt the populace is. Once the leadership is corrupt, the nation is gone. So that's where we find that's this strategy applied on a national level, that Satan will corrupt the leadership of a country, and once he does that, the nation is gone to the dustbin. The second place is in the family. Have you noticed that there is almost an assault on male leadership? There's an assault on male leadership in the family. You go to America today, especially in the black communities, men are in prison. Men are in prison. Why is that? Because Satan understands this strategy of striking the shepherd and scattering the sheep. He goes to the families. He knows the power of a male leadership. He attacks the man. He attacks the male leadership. And families are in a mess because there are no men anymore. And now you find women will tell you, "I don't need a man to have a child. My son doesn't need a father." Well, your son doesn't need a father. Well, you're succumbing to that satanic strategy, because what Satan is doing is remove the man, remove male leadership, remove the male leadership from the family, and then everything else is in a mess. I've run into people who weren't raised by a father, and you could still see that in them. There's something lacking. So that's how Satan plays this game in the family. He attacks the man, attacks the husband, and removes male leadership and male authority, and he scatters the home. The third place is in the church. Is in the church. You know, Satan will not go after sheep one by one. If a church is 200 people, I can't go after 200 sheep. If a church is 1,000 people, he hasn't got time and resources perhaps to go after 1,000 people. You know what he will do? He'll go after the pastor, the shepherd. He knows, if I can harm the pastor, if I can hurt the pastor, I can scatter the sheep. And that's why you need to be very worrisome of any situation that puts your pastor in jeopardy. You need to be concerned when your pastor is under stress, when your pastor is when things are not. If your pastor is under assault, you are under assault. Satan doesn't need to worry about you. He knows, if I can cut off your spiritual head, then the body's gone. So what does this mean to every one of us? Well, this requires a call to action. Let me ask you a question this morning. Have you prayed for your pastor today? Are you joining hands with folks who want to destroy your pastor? You see, that's the reason why when you hear somebody speaking against your pastor, rising up against your pastor, they're really rising up against you, because it's the strike the shepherd. Satan won't go after the sheep as such. If I could get to the shepherd, I could use one blow on the shepherd and kill 200 sheep. So this morning, this devotional is a call for action. Have you prayed for your pastor this morning? Have you prayed for your husband, wife? Instead of nagging the man in your house, You don't know the kind of covering that you get by being with that man. Instead of nagging that man, have you prayed for him? You lift him up in prayer, because he's the shepherd. He's the man. He's the person Satan wants to strike and scatter the children. How many times do we lift our leaders up in prayer? So I want to challenge everyone listening to me. Remember Satan's signature strategy. Strike the shepherd, scatter the sheep. You and I need to go off now and pray for our leaders, pray for our husbands, and pray for our pastors, so that God can help them and stop this satanic strategy from being taken off in our systems. So I want to encourage us to do that today. God bless you. You have a wonderful day. Remember, strike the shepherd, scatter the sheep. Protect the shepherd in your life so Satan doesn't scatter the sheep. Amen.
For counsel and house support, call or text 0907-909-0901 or join us on Facebook at Powersurge Devotional. Thank you for listening.